everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for checking out my videos and subscribing to my channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you are notified when I post new videos. I have gained quite a few subscribers within the last few days, and I cannot say it enough how much I really appreciate your support. It is just enough motivation for me to keep going and to keep sharing these videos, because apparently there are people out there who care just as much as I do, and that just makes me so happy. And like I said, it just gives me the motivation and the encouragement to continue going. You guys, I am so genuinely happy to see that you all are commenting on my videos with really thoughtful opinions and ideas. I know these are very emotional conversations and we don't always agree with each other's opinions, but please continue to give your feedback. I want everyone who watches these videos to feel comfortable sharing their honest opinions. I will continue to share these untold stories, and I want all of us to create meaningful conversations around the topics that affect our community. So guys, today we are going to talk about the 2017 case of Shannon Steele from Demopolis, Alabama. Shannon, a 29-year-old mother of four, 3 girls and 1 boy, lost her life just 3 days after Christmas in 2017. And to this day, we still do not know who's responsible. So let's get into it, and please be sure to share your comments down below. Shannon Steele lived in the Edgemont Village community in Demopolis, Alabama. Like I said, she was a mother of 4 children, and at the time of her death, she had a 3-year-old son, a 4-month-old daughter, and 2 older girls. I have not been able to confirm the age of the older girls, but they look like they could be between the ages of, say, like 10 and 12 years old. On December 28th, 2017, sometime around 3:10 in the afternoon, Demopolis police officer went to a home in the area of 1500 Queensbury Lane. Now, when the officer knocked on the door, he was greeted by a little boy who told him someone had shot his mommy. This little boy is Shannon's 4-year-old son. The officer immediately went into the home to check things out and to see what this little boy was talking about. And sadly, he found Shannon Steele shot in one of the back rooms of the home. The officer also found Shannon's 4-month-old daughter in the same room where Shannon lay deceased. The baby was not harmed, and Shannon's older girls were not home at the time of this incident. The police officer immediately called fire rescue and EMS, but when they arrived, it was just too late for Shannon. I have not been able to confirm this, but it seems as though Shannon was already deceased by the time the officer showed up. Demopolis police say they are actively investigating the death of Shannon. And as you can imagine, Shannon's mom, Jermaine Sanders, is absolutely devastated by the loss of her daughter. Miss Sanders said that Shannon was actually the perfect child. She said she never gave her any problems, even as a young girl, all the way up into her teenage years. And you know, teenage years, middle school years, that's when girls and moms tend to clash. And Miss Sanders said that basically Shannon was just the perfect child. She gave her no problems. Miss Sanders even went on to say, quote, that she could not have asked for a better daughter. She also said that Shannon was focused on being the best mother that she could be for her 4 children, and that basically her days were pretty predictable, meaning that Shannon really just didn't do much except for go to work, come home, take care of the kids. She was very responsible. So it really is shocking for Shannon's family to see that, to see this type of outcome for her, because it's totally, outside of what they would expect for Shannon.
It has been almost a year since the murder of Shannon Steele, and the case is still a mystery.
When I got here, I, saw that there was tape around her house, and, I actually thought maybe it was a house fire or something, but never did I think that someone had murdered her.
Jermaine Sanders was at work last December when her life took a dramatic turn. A Demopolis police officer was attempting to serve papers to someone on Queensbury Lane when a small child at the home told the officer someone killed his mom. That woman was Sanders' daughter.
I'm lost in the dark because she was a person that didn't bother anybody and All she did was just live each day, raising her children. She go to work, she come home, she take care of her children. That's all she did.
Can you just imagine being a 911 operator and then you getting a call regarding one of your family members? I actually was a 911 operator for a few years, and I can't even imagine getting a call where something is going on with my family and just having to try to maintain myself and keep it together until I could get, leave to go see what's going on. Well, that is exactly what Valada had to do. She said that she was there when the call came in and was basically trying to process everything that was going on. But in the midst of all of that, she still had to maintain her composure because of the environment that she's in. And I totally understand that, until she was able to be relieved. So since the death of Shannon, her mother has been caring for her 4 children. And Miss Sanders said that the little boy is actually having a very difficult time because it seems as though he may have saw something, because Miss Sanders said that he is constantly reliving or acting out that day or the time period when his mom unfortunately, lost her life.
It gets real bad sometimes when he sit and he act out what happened, and it's kind of tough for us, because we can only imagine what he's going through. It's got to be extremely tough for him because it's tough for us.
So the case of Shannon Steele caught my attention because on July 15th, Demopolis police did a press conference and renewed their call for help in solving the death of Shannon. Now, here are some details about the city of Demopolis. In 2018, the population of Demopolis was a little more than 6,700, and it is roughly 18 square miles. That is not a very big town. It is a very rural, small town in Alabama. Approximately 40% of the population are actually children. There are 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. I say all of this just to point out that it would seem like everyone knows everybody in this town. That's what I envision when I think about Demopolis and the population. So at the press conference on July 15th, the Marengo County District Attorney's Office and the Demopolis Police announced that they are offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in the death of Shannon Steele. They are asking anyone with information to call their tip line, which is the telephone number is 334-216-4077. So guys, I have a few questions and I want to know your thoughts. As I've been thinking about this case, when I looked up the location of Shannon's home, I found that it is a small development in Demopolis, and it is a fairly new development. I think maybe 10 years old or so. The development has approximately 60 single-family homes that seem to be rented out like apartments. There is one way in to this community and basically one road out. So my first thought was, why Shannon and why this neighborhood? I honestly feel like, in my opinion, that the person who's responsible for this probably knew Shannon. I say this because if this was random, why would someone pick this community? This, like I said, is a community situated in the back of, off of a major road, but very far back, as you can see from the clip. If they didn't know Shannon, how did they decide on her particular house? I guess it could have just been a random act, but I find it very hard to believe that someone would take the time to drive off the major road and just randomly pick this particular street, drive down this street, randomly pick Shannon's house, and then decide, with the intent of, taking her life. The street off the major highway, as far as I can tell from the aerial view, does not show like a name of the street. So someone would have to know what was back there. You can't see this community off the main road because it's so far back. I feel like they would have to know who they were looking for. Police have not said anything was missing from the home, so it doesn't sound like there was a robbery. And I also have to consider the fact that the police officer that came by the house to serve someone had to knock on the door. He didn't indicate that there, appeared to be any sort of forced entry into the home, and the children were there. They didn't seem like, they had been harmed. I do also want to point out something a little confusing about the address here, probably because it's a new community, but some articles say the residence address is 1514 Queensbury Lane in Demopolis. When I look up that address, it doesn't show up as Queensbury Lane, so I can't pinpoint the exact house. But either way, this community is not out in the open. It's essentially behind an industrial area. The town seems like an industrial town. There is, across the main highway from where the community is, there is a cement factory or like a cement company. There are some dilapidated or, rundown buildings that are no longer in existence, like motels. There's like a mechanic shop. There's several businesses around this particular community, including a Salvation Army. There's like a local bank, a local check cashing store. It seems to be maybe like a major thoroughfare area for people to get to and from like another major city, or possibly to come and work in this community. When you do like a wide shot of Demopolis, the area where Shannon's house or rental is actually outside of the main city area of Demopolis. It's a little bit to the southeast of like the police station. The downtown area is what it looked like. It's like maybe 3 or 4 miles from that main downtown area. Because of everything that I've shared so far, I just really don't feel like someone would randomly decide to pick this area to commit such a serious crime. What do you all think about that? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, even though a person could have randomly followed her home and did this, yeah, that's true. I can't see that actually happening. I mean, even if that were the case, I can't believe somebody did not see a car that wasn't supposed to be there, or an unusual car. I can't even believe they didn't hear anything unusual. During the Demopolis police press conference, police ended up saying something that made me think that they were suggesting that someone entered Shannon's home during the middle of the night and took her life. This sounds like, to me, something that's more likely to have occurred, and it also sounds like the person would have known Shannon. Again, let me know in the comments what you all think about that. On the day that the police found Shannon, they ended up canvassing the neighborhood. They spoke to several neighbors, and none of them were able to provide any leads on anything. I do think that's a little strange, because I can't believe that a neighbor would not have heard a gunshot or something that sounded like a gunshot, or even if they thought it sounded like fireworks or something. We just, ended, 4th of July just ended, and I know for myself that we heard random noises that sounded like gunshots sporadically throughout the day. This year they were doing fireworks the whole weekend for like 5 days straight, it seemed. So there would be random noises that I would have heard, and I know that they sounded like gunshots, but they were actually fireworks, but they were also like streets away. They were not on my exact street. So I just wonder how a neighbor would not have heard a gunshot unless this person had a silencer, and I doubt that would have happened, although it's possible. I just can't imagine that whoever did this was that prepared. I also wonder if Shannon was dating anyone, and if police even checked them out. So now on to the 2 theories that I have come up after thinking about this case and after talking it over with my husband. So first one, if you look at the aerial view of the neighborhood and the city, the closest parts of the city to the development where Shannon lived, you will see that there is a Salvation Army nearby. Now, in my community, we have a Salvation Army, and I frequently see a lot of vagrants sleeping near the Salvation Army and loitering around the area of the Salvation Army because they have nowhere else to really go. So I started thinking, I guess it's possible that a vagrant could have there's this dirt road that leads to the back of this subdivision directly from the Salvation Army. I guess it's possible that a vagrant could have walked that dirt road leading up into the community to commit this horrible crime. I mean, it's possible. What do you all think about that? Let me know. I mean, as I think about it, I'm questioning, like, well, would a vagrant necessarily have a weapon? Maybe, maybe not. I do struggle with that theory because I kind of find it hard to believe that a homeless person, like I said, would have a gun, but I just can't get it out of my mind that this may not have been a random act. So again, this is all just speculation, and like I said, I could be totally wrong, but it just doesn't sound random to me. Even the idea of the vagrant, like I said, it was my husband mentioned it. It's an idea, but I still am leaning towards the theory that whoever did this knew Shannon. They knew where they were going, in my opinion, because number one, as far as I know, the police have not said that anything was taken from the house. Police have not said that when they approached the house, it looked like it had been ransacked or it looked like someone forced entry, which would lead me to believe that Shannon allowed the person to come in. It also makes me question, why was she in the back room? Was she taken back there so that they could harm her? You know, did she welcome this person into her room to talk to her or whatever, and something happened, something, you know, took place? These are all just thoughts and questions rolling around in my head, and I'm definitely interested to hear what you all think. I also question, like I said, why would someone go into this secluded community to do something so violent and risk someone hearing the gunshot or being seen by a neighbor, or even having the police being called and them having to struggle to get out of this one way in, one way out subdivision? And it's like I showed you, it's a very small subdivision. It's literally maybe 3 or 4 streets. I just truly, yes, the houses are they have some yard to each one of the individual residences, so they're kind of spaced out, but I just still believe 3 streets, someone would have to have heard a gunshot. Let me know down in the comments below what you all think about this particular case. If anyone is watching this video and has any information about the death of Shannon Steele, please call the Demopolis Police Department tip line at 334-216-4077. You guys, please share this video out so that we can, you know, hopefully get it in front of somebody who could, you know, who may have some information or may know somebody who knows somebody. You truly never know. If you share this video out or even share Shannon's photo out, someone may have talked to her about somebody. You know, maybe she was dating somebody and she told a friend or told a coworker or told someone who knows something. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and don't forget to share the video so we can get it in front of as many people as possible and hopefully get it in front of the right people. Thank you guys. Take care and be safe. Bye.